So now let's get designing. So here we are on Elementor, and Elementor has a very amazing setup where you can actually import layouts and just simply click any of these right here. So we have pages pre-built already, and then you can see on the pro version they have a much larger choice options here as well that look a lot more beautiful and very easy to set up. However, I want to show you from scratch all the little tiny widgets and plugins you can use, because that way if you have a different style or design you want to create, then you can go out with there. And then also the blocks are very helpful as well. And let me just start off with the scratch and going from just dragging and dropping. So here we have this plus sign here. So simply you can decide what structure you would like, and essentially each of the ones means essentially a container that you can keep your post in, and it's better for mobile responsiveness. So the main one right now is the big block right here. So the one, click on this one. Now we have everything inside of here. So now what we need to do is actually go and you can style this out. You can do whatever you'd like here, but let me just click here on the plus sign, and now it brings us back to the choices here. So if I want to add, for instance, a text, so I can say here, welcome to our website, and then you can center line it here, and then size, obviously if you want to change that, that's how you do it here. And then the H tag. So when you see this is how you essentially determine what positioning is in. So usually header 1 is the biggest, and then from there down. So I'm gonna put this one as the H1 here, and then let's go and style. So if you want to change the color, the fonts, shadowing, any of that stuff, it'll always be on the style tab. So for instance, I want to change the color to let's see, this grayish green, blue here, and then obviously you can, freestyle it here. So you can do whatever color you'd like. And so I'm actually gonna probably do a blue background. So let me actually keep it black for now, because I want to be able to see my text, but then I'll change it later. Typography is simply just the type of text you're using. So currently we have, all these choices. You have Helvetica, let me see, Arial. And it's very slight. You can't really see it too much, but if I choose something that's like not common, you can see there. So I'm gonna go with just a default for now, and then weight, obviously that's determining the thickness. So let's see here, looks like that one's pretty good here, and there's thin 200, so it looks like it's pretty much maxed out, but I'm gonna keep it on default for now. And then styling, italicize, obviously turning it like this, normal, and then oblique right here. And so I'm gonna go back to default here, and then decoration, so if you want it to be underlined, overline, line through, and simply none. So I'm gonna go back to default there. And then line height, that's usually when you have multiple words and whatnot. So if I had like hello, and then I want to go to style, let's go back here, let's go to topography. So you can see here the height between that. So now it's, so usually I like to do that after I have paragraphs and I have everything designed, but for now that's literally there. So let's go and zero that out and see. So it should be back. So let me go back and let's see if I can refresh this. History, settings, go to history here, and then let's see, line heights. Actually go in here, let me click on this, and basically it just it redoes what you just did previously. So you can go here, click on there, and it brings you back to what you had before. So ideally this is where I had it originally, so I'm gonna go now, click back on here. So now I'm back to what we had, and also if you didn't like that, you could simply just like erase it too. But now we're back to this normal text here, and then blend mode is simply just the type of like coloring you have. So you can't really tell right now because it's just black and white, but that's usually something I don't really mess with too much. And we have advanced, so this is more of the spacing. So if I were to type in like, let's do a big number, you can see everything around it just increased here, and then do it there again. So you can't really tell the difference, but let me show you really quick what that actually really does. So if I click on this actual right here, so this is the button right there, and then I go to style, and I go to the background type. So you have different colors here. So let me just go to classic, and let me just fill a color up right now, just to give you a visual of what the thing is. So now click back onto the actual text. So now I'm on the text option right here. So you can also click here too, but we're not clicked on this, we're clicked on the actual blue text. So if I click here and type in 100, you can see that is the outside. See, it's the outside, and then if I were to do padding, it'd be inside. So if I go here again, 0. So basically margin is outside spacing, and then padding is inside. So it won't make too much sense right now until we actually start designing more stuff, but you'll see it in just a minute once I show you more designs. But I'll just erase that for right now, and actually let's do a let's make this a lot bigger. So let's actually make the this entire frame right here very big. So let's see if I can do 300. Yeah, looks about right. And obviously we can go in and we can edit this whenever we want to, but I'm gonna keep it at 300 right now. And then also there's a bunch of other effects down here, but ideally this is stuff that you would probably use later. This isn't really the most ideal right now because we don't have any designs yet. But if you did want to change stuff like this, you'd have border, everything, and then positioning, responsiveness. So this is usually, if you only want it to be on a computer, you'd put hide on these, mobile and tablet. And then if you only have it on mobile, you would hide these so that you wouldn't have to sit there and change your design. But ideally, if you are making a website, I mean, you probably want to keep these all. And then custom CSS is just if you like to code, you know how to code, and then you can go here and actually upgrade to Go Pro in order to have access to that feature. But let's actually go back and let's go start back designing. So let's click on this top left right here, and let's have this access to the entire background. And let's change the background to something a lot better looking. So I'm gonna go here with gradient, and I'm gonna do more of a let's see, I'm gonna go with like a purplish. Let me say like a purplish blue, and then I'll go down here and do sort of a yeah, kind of like a bluish purple. And there's the background here. And then also what you could do is add a image as well. So if you go here like background overlay, so I'll just check this, and this is, again, you can add an image here. So let me actually go and find an image really quickly, and then I'll come back right quick. So I'm using pixabay.com for my pictures. There's also multiple other ones such as Unsplash and then Pexels, but if you wanted to follow along, you can go to pixabay.com and then simply just type in, I'm typing in city right now, so I'm just gonna click here and then simply just download it, and then boom, goes to your computer. So I'm gonna hit download and then just go through this step right here. If it does ask, and sometimes this doesn't work all the time, but let me just try it. Usually, okay, perfect, and then click download. And let's go back to Elementor and click on image. Now let's upload the image. Now here, alt text, this is usually the kind of like keywords, but ideally this is something that's a lot more advanced. I would say if you wanted to label it as, you know, website background, or ideally you'd put your keywords here, so you could put like, you know, city background, so that people who don't have the text showing, when you hover over, it'll showcase it. But usually if you put keywords for your website, it's much easier to rank. But I don't know what type of pictures you will have, so you'd have to fill that accordingly to you. And this is unnecessary, you don't have to have this, but you can if you want to. And then I'm gonna go and click on insert media. So now notice how you can kind of see it in the background. So let's actually go to positioning. I usually like to do center just because it gets the perfect view. And then we can go here to attachment, repeat size. So that's if you wanted to, you know, make it look cooler. So repeating X, and usually that doesn't do too much right now because the pictures are so large, but let's go back here. Also attachment, you can do scroll too. So if I were to scroll down, you won't be able to see it right now, but when I scroll, it would come with it. But I'm gonna just go with default. And then let's go to sizing here. So you can cover like this, and that covers like the entire picture fits in here. You can do contain, you can do custom, and that's all preference, but I usually like the I think cover looks pretty good here. And then let's go to opacity. So this essentially, if I show you, if I go to full 1, that means it's 100% showing the image. So if I were to go to 0, you wouldn't be able to see the image at all. So ideally what I would like to do is probably anywhere from a 10 to 20 is a good range to where you're not showing too much, but you can actually still see the background. So I like let's try 10. Yeah, so 10's all right. I'll keep it like this. And then the rest of the stuff, you want borders or typography, that's up to you. But for this does not require any of that. And then I mean, we don't have any text, so we don't need to worry about that either. So that's basically the background here. So if I go back to clicking back on here and go into style and just go with the normal background. So we had background overlay, and then we have background. And let me see if I can change the coloring a little bit, see if it make it a little darker. Oh yeah, so like a little more darker like this. And then Here, this stuff, I don't need to worry about this since we're just putting out the background color. And then simply go here. And then now let's actually change this text. So click on the text here. I'm gonna double click on it and go to style and click on the coloring here and then just go to white and put welcome to our site. And then you can see here text shadow. So you can see how it's kind of it's just flat. There's nothing behind it. So you would go to text shadow and you can see here the coloring. So if I were to make this like full black, you can see how it's like, I don't know if you can, I'll put a rest, you can be like, see how it glows now? That's basically the shadowing. So ideally, I like to make it darker and then keep it here. It's not necessary for this site, but I'm just showing you the abilities that you can do. And then if you want to blur it, you have like the crazy blur. And then horizontal is basically the XY axis showing like where your shadow would go. So you can see that. You see on the screen, let me make it more red so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically this is just shadowing, so I mean you can move it around here, but ideally you want it to be like right under. So usually like a 2 to 4 range is pretty solid, and then blur anywhere from like 4 to 10 is probably a good range to where it's not too obvious. But that, again, this is your preference. You can design however you like. So I go like this. I think that's too much for me on this one. So what I'm gonna do is go here to I'm gonna put 2. And then go here with 0, and then go to like a, let me see, the 6 maybe, or let's do 2. For this design, I'm actually gonna keep out the shadow because I don't want to have anything for this one. And then blend, obviously this is just like the coloring stuff, but it's not necessary for this. So now we can put here, welcome to our website. So now let's go in back to content. So now if you did want to add something else, you can go actually down here again and just simply click the plus sign. Let's click on the text here, and let's just add text again. Now you can put welcome to our website, and I don't really know what, let me see, just think. Let's see, so here's just something simple I put, and then let's horizontal align this with center, and then let's see here. So let me change this. So watch when I actually go and drag and click this. It's only going to allow me to put it below this actual container right here. So because I put a padding of 300, if I go here, that's the problem here. So if I were to go to bottom and then change this to, well, actually let me unclick this really quick. Unclick it and put bottom to 0, then you would see what happens there. But then that would be very confusing when you actually would try to do more responsiveness. So let's actually go here and go back to 300 really quick, and let me connect all of those. Now let's go click on this actual top left one right here. Let's go to advanced here, and now let's do padding of 300. Now see how that went crazy? Now actually go back to this one right here, and let's go to 0. Alright, so perfect. So I actually mentally misclicked the first time I showed you. I clicked on the wrong tab, but now I'm showing you what happens if you were to run into that issue is to simply make sure when you do the margin or padding, always click on the background that you're working with. So click here, and the padding would be 300. So if you want the actual text to have it, that's how you do it there. But overall for this actual design, we're doing the entire background part. And then here you can see. So now you can see a lot better when I do the padding here. So watch what happened. If I were to do 20, let's do actually a bigger number. Let's do 50. You can see how it has this entire thing around it, and then the text under here you can't really touch. So actually let me change the coloring on here to whites, and now you can see here. So if we go back to advanced, click on our text, you can see the padding here. And then if I go here again, let's do 30. It's on the outside. You can't really see it, but it'd be hard unless I actually made the containers with it. But here we go there. So I'm gonna keep it like this, and then let's actually go here and let me see if I can change this text to a thinner, because I like that way. So let's go here to the weights. Let's see, 400. I'll probably do 500 for now. And again, we can play around with this, but this is just showing you the simple, like from scratch setup. So I think I misclicked on something. All right, so let's go back here, center this, and now let's go down here and click on the plus sign down here. And now let's add a button. So here we go, we have the button tab right here. And again, these are all things you can just play around with, but let me just start off here, add a button, and then let's center align this. And then here, essentially, this will be the link. So if you wanted this button to go to your website or a specific page on your website, you put that here. So right now, if you wanted to go to youtube.com, you just type in youtube.com. Button size, obviously, you can do extra small, medium, large, etc. So I'm gonna stick with, I'll probably do medium for now. Icon, you could upload your own icon here. So if we click on this, you have the own icon library. So let's actually click this arrow one. Let's insert this. So I've got this cool little icon here, and then you can position this. So let's do after, and then spacing, obviously that's just between the button here. So you can see that one's pretty simple. I'll probably do like a 5. And then button ID, so this is something that you want to make it unique, but I mean, you don't have to worry about this because I'm not making too many buttons on this actual website. And then default, I mean, this is just types of coloring. So if I wanted to change this to, blue, info, success, warning, danger, but I'm gonna go and actually do default, and then I'm gonna go to styling and change it myself. So typography, keep it there. Okay, let's see, go to text shadow right there, and let's go to the actual background color. So background color, I'm probably gonna make this button, let me see if you can actually see it with a trying to play around with the colors right now, which one's like the best color to see. Let me try, I'm gonna stick with this one for now. And then also this hover. So if I showed you this on a preview, whenever you were to click on this button, or at least move your mouse over it, it would change to hover mode. And if you were to change the hover background color like green, then it would change to green when you hover over it. But for this sake, I don't need that option. I'll show that probably later. But here, border type. So I mean, if you wanted to change this to like dotted, stuff like that, you can't really see it right now because it has a solid fill. But if you were to have a border around it, it would be the outside, and then you could change that accordingly. And also the border radius, and then padding here too as well. So let's actually go here and let's click and drag this underneath it. So hold it on your computer if you're using a laptop or a desktop, and just wait till you see this blue line, and then just let go. So now we have it like this. So now you can see the website is starting to get built. However, I don't like the way that the sizing of this. Let's go to styling. So let's click on this text here. Go to typography here, and then let's go and let's increase the size. Let's see. So notice what happens when I increase it to this, the current padding and margins that I added onto the background is not allowing me to actually edit this. Let's go and undo this, and let's do 0. Let's see. Probably do 30 on this side, and then left 30. All right, perfect. So that way it looks a lot better. Let me take out this 0 really quick. So now it has more of the spacing, and it's not touching perfectly because you never want to have to be like perfectly wide, but here, and then perfect right there. So now let's actually go in and go back to our text now. So hover over the text, click on this. Let's go to styling, typography, and let me make this a little small. Let me do even number it out 60, and then same with here. I mean, this one looks pretty good here, so I'm gonna keep that. And then obviously this one right here. So actually I want to click on this one, advanced. So check this out now. Let me see if I can show you a better visual. So see when I do that, it's the outside of this. But then let me see if I can go on padding and show you. It might be still kind of hard to tell because let me show the background. Understand. So let me see if I can do it here actually. Background right there, classic, and let me change this to red. All right, so check this out. Go back to advanced. Now let's go to 50. So now you see it's outside, right? Right there, and then padding inside. Okay, so that's like the best visual I can give you about the difference between margin and padding. And ideally, let's go here. Actually, let's do 50 on padding. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now let's go to the background. Make sure we delete this because you don't want that to be showing. So let me just go in and 0 that out. Perfect. All right, so now let's click off here and let's go back to content. You should click on this side right here. So now currently, this is what our current website looks like. Now, obviously the padding, we can play around with this. So let me change that probably, let me do be honest, you don't have to touch the left and right sides, but ideally for mobilization you could. But let's do 40. See how that looks. Click here. Now that's currently how a website looks. Now we can add more of a personalized touch later on, but right now I'm just going to keep it like this. And now let's just close down and click on update. So now let's go and preview the changes. So let's actually click here, preview changes. So now currently this is what our website looks like. So one thing I forgot to show you earlier was the reason why it's showing this white space is not because of the margin of padding. It's because I didn't actually change the layouts on the actual background. So if you were on text or any button right now, go to this top tab right here with the dots, click on edit section, and then go to content width and click on full width. So now if we update this should fix the problem. So preview changes there, perfect. So now this is currently our website right now. So now let's go on to the next section.